Hey guys, these pole frame canvas buildings are a great solution if you need a shed on your property and you don't want to go through the time and expense of either building one yourself or going out and buying one of those ready-made jobs and having it delivered and set up at your home. For a couple of $100, I have a pretty good sized space that I can store all my lawn and garden equipment and keep it tucked away, out of the weather, and ready anytime I need it. Now, even though these buildings are pretty weather resistant and sturdy, there are some trade-offs for that inexpensive price. And the biggest one in my eyes is there's no base or floor to set it up on. Sure, you could go through the expense and time of pouring a concrete slab and having something pretty level and sturdy, or even digging it out a little bit and putting up some gravel or even some mulch to serve as your floor, but that can be kind of messy. The solution that I came up with is I repurposed some more of that fence that I dug out, and I made a pretty sturdy and solid wooden floor for this deck that I can roll my stuff right up on and keep it out of the mud and rain. Stick around and I'll show you how I did it. This shed is 10 by 17 and I set it up in the back corner of my yard. The ground's pretty flat here, but by no means is it level. That's one of the main reasons, besides cost, that I didn't want to pour a concrete slab. The other is portability. The shed can be taken down and moved, and the fence panel floor can be removed and taken right along with the shed. After cleaning it out and taking a few measurements, the next thing I did was cut the fence panel flush with the bottom rail using a circular saw. Now this is only going to cut partway through the fence boards on the other side, but they can easily be cleaned up with a reciprocating saw or even a hand saw for that matter. Then I spin the panel around, measure it to the length I need. Now this is half the overall width of the shed. It's going to take 2 panels to cover the width. Then I snap a chalk line and cut it to length using the same method as before. After I get 2 panels in place, I drove an extra piece of 2x3 through where the 2 panels meet. I pre-drilled the boards at the end. These are pretty old boards and could split easily. Then I drive 1.5-inch deck screws to hold it all together. And I should tell you, this project required me to disassemble quite a few of these fence panels to get the 2x3s and the fence boards. I either cut them apart with the demo saw or just pried out the nails. It was a bit of work, but it saved me a ton of money, so I didn't mind. Once the 2 panels are screwed together, I drove a few more 2x3s into the panels to give it more support. I just evenly spaced them between the rails, and I found this took out all the flex in the floor. Then I drove 2 more screws per board to hold them in place. The next step was to take fence boards and just rip a small bit off the edge so they'd fit into the spaces. This took a bit of time because I had to make sure I wasn't going to saw through any nails or there weren't any splits that could cause problems. After that, I just cut them to length with the miter saw, but then again, any saw would work here. This is the part of the project where I could really see my plan coming together. I laid the trim boards into the spaces of the fence floor. Floor fence? Well, whatever. I set them snugly together here with little or no gap. I'm not really worried about buckling because these boards are pretty old and dry, and if they expand any, it's not going to be much. But anyway, it's a shed floor, right? So this is good enough. And it's back to the screw gun, driving 2 screws per board at each rail location. As I'm doing this, I can feel the floor getting more rigid and supportive, so I'm really happy. I really like how this is turning out. Again, I make sure to pre-drill the ends to avoid splitting. So what I'm going to do next is I have short pieces of 2x4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide them in on the two ends and then on the second one from the outside. And what they're going to do is I'm going to slide them all the way in. And then once I put the next piece of fencing on, lay it down, I'm going to slide them back and screw everything together. And what's that going to do is just going to kind of tie everything together and make it like one complete solid structure. So the floor is all in. Basically, I just put the fence down, and in between it was a privacy fence, so there's boards on opposite sides, and in between where I had to fill in, I had to rip the panels down just a little bit to get them to fill in. So it's all down. Next, I'm just going to make a ramp on the front and the back. I put in a cleat there on the front, and I'm just going to cut some boards and make a little panel, and that's going to be a ramp, and it's going to be really simple. So let me get at it.
Cut down some more fence boards to around 18 inches, I think. I just set up a quick down and dirty saw stop to get this done in a hurry. Again, I try to avoid any nails or bad spots that could cause problems. Then I screwed them all together on a rail, then fastened the whole assembly to a cleat at the end of the floor. And that's it.
You know, trying to think out the box and repurposing stuff around your property is one of the best ways you can save money when doing a project. If I would have laid down gravel or even mulch, this could have easily been a couple $100s in materials, and to pour a concrete slab would have been even more. But for the price of a couple of boxes of screws and some sweat, I have a solid, sturdy floor that I can drive my tractor on and keep all my other stuff out of the mud. And the best part is, it really locks down this shed and keep it sturdy and protected from the weather, and it won't blow away. You know, I hope you got something out of this project. It was a lot of fun trying to think how I could get this done, but I think it turned out pretty well. Do you have any ideas or projects that you've done where you've repurposed stuff and thought outside the box a little bit? I'd love to hear about it. Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the HomeCraft Chronicles, and you won't miss any of the projects I have to help you in and around your home. So until I see you next time, my name is Tom. Remember, take care of yourself and your home. I'll see you soon.